Hello, my name is Divine Aine, and today I will be presenting my personal product, Little Sunflowers, and this is my personal project. It is a children's book, and I will be discussing more about it in this video. So I wrote and created a children's book, and this children's book is focused on self-esteem in both metaphorical and direct manners that directly target different insecurities faced at a young age. So for my goals, my product goal was to create a children's book that creatively brought forth the theme of self-esteem in a well-designed and composed way through product design or through composition. For my learning goal, by creating this children's book about self-esteem, I wanted to learn more about creative thinking, outlining skills, and of course reading comprehension skills. So for my inspiration, I was inspired to create. My childhood inspired this product. Growing up, I had a lot of insecurities about how I looked and how I was viewed by different people who surrounded me, my friends, my family, and it was tough for me to actually have a good self-esteem. It really affected my social life, and also I was inspired by my mom who told me about how she was growing up, and she faced a lot of criticism and discrimination about her dark skin color, and it really affected her. So one of the characters is inspired and dedicated to my mother herself. Yes. So for the global context and the skills, the 8 skills that I applied during this project include the global context, which I used was identities and relationships. So I explored this global context through my characters. Each of these characters are different, and they each have their own identity that I created by myself, that I built by myself, and that's them. Then there's the interrelation and connection between each and every character. Through the book, you'll see that there's some kind of thread, there's some kind of connection between each of these 4 characters. We have Sama, Kwezi, Mwangi, and Omar. Those are the names of the characters, but all of them have this connection towards each other. What brings them together? There's their insecurities. That makes them more human, because humans have something that doesn't make them feel good about themselves, and that builds on their identity. And then of course there's their growth, and there's no person who doesn't have growth throughout their lifetime. And through this book we see these characters grow into children with a higher self-esteem. For the ATL skills I applied, I utilized my research skills when reaching my learning goal. I had to conduct a lot of research, survey the internet, read a lot of books, read a lot of blogs about creating children's book. I had to also be able to find out if these resources or the things that I researched were reliable. For creating my product goal, I had to utilize my collaborative skills, and I had to collaborate with a number of professionals, and I also had to collaborate with my illustrator, Kayla Kimani. I also had to use my self-management skills or time management, because there was a lot to do, and I also had to balance my personal life, my school life, and also creating this book. So I had to have a lot of self-management, and also thinking creatively, creating these characters, creating the plot, creating everything in this book, from the cover to the pages to everything in here. I had to think creatively. So for the IB learner profile and the things that I got to utilize as an IB learner was that I became really reflective throughout the journey. I became a thinker. I became a risk taker, because creating this entire book was a risk, and I had to become an inquirer. But everything has its ups and downs, and definitely creating this book had its numerous downs. Creating this product was very challenging, because in some ways, and one of these ways is that it was really hard for me to get an illustrator and get this book designed as fast as I wanted to. It took longer than I expected, but in the end I got it, and it's here, and it's printed, and it's a really wonderful book. And I hope, as an extension from my product, I want this book to be published, but for now it's still not. But other than that challenge of having of looking for an illustrator, the process was really good, and I learned a lot from it. Thank you, and when this book comes out, I hope you enjoy Little Sunflowers. Thank you.